Thank you, Chairperson. It was also a Cup 2007 that I was first debating and made a speech in a debate tournament. In round one, the judge was Kobara-san. It was my pleasure to debate with him in the era of Reiwa. Based on this framework, I would like to clarify three things. Firstly, the contradictory approach of government bench. Some information should be selectively disclosed to the public. If they shut down all information, then they can reduce panic drastically. If they reduce some of the information, still the problem or panic about merging or bankruptcy or riots will happen under their model to a certain extent. So the question is, how do you draw the line, right? This is the criterion from the outside of the house is objective or rationality or viscerality. It's not possible for ruling political party to predetermine or prejudge what information will cause what extent of visceral and irrational reaction from the public. Secondly, the Koki-san pointed out the premise of our right to an argument is there are some ways to solve the problem, but we can't do anything about it until the vaccination is created. No, at least we can prevent us from getting infected, possibly. Maybe we can't cure the disease, maybe we can't remove the disease, but at least we can prevent us from aggrandizing the possibility or scale of the pandemic, and that's the qualitative distinction we would like to emphasize in this debate. Based on this clarification, I would like to answer two questions. Firstly, how should we minimize pandemic and epidemics? Secondly, what will be the legitimate condition for censoring information? So firstly, how we minimize pandemic and epidemic. On the first rebuttal is, the worst case scenario is sensationalization of information. What if media have a propensity to overly sensationalize information so that visceral reaction will be incited? We believe even if that happens, that is good. That's a uniquely effective solution to make ignorant public aware of the emergency of the pandemic. So let's make a comparison. Under the status, under their model, the ignorant public do nothing about it, as a result of which they get infected. Under our side of us, maybe overreaction happen, maybe public become panic, but at least people stay at home and watch Netflix and enjoy their life and avoid getting affected. Which approach can reach out to wider range of individuals and vast majority of individuals? No, thank you. It is unfortunate fact that people, for example, living in a poverty area or poverty zone or low-income zone have less literacy to access diverse kinds of information and lack information sensitivity. But we need to reach out to those demographics as well in order to protect a larger number of individuals. We can't reach out to those levels of individual under their model. Maybe shocking is necessary for a company to stop having events or canceling airplane to Singapore. Maybe I have to go to Singapore tomorrow, but maybe I can't go there. But that kind of drastic measure is necessary in order to incite or encourage corporations or individuals to take such drastic measure. We feel rather centralization works and functions. Secondly, they're worried about people spread uncredible information or dubious information on their own. That's far more likely to happen on their side of us when state official channels are all shut down or never release critical information. The reason why racism happened against Chinese individuals is because of the subjective spreading out of information. Under our model, we can counter those arguments saying that there's no statistic causal link between Chinese people versus the possibility of a coronavirus. It's all about location. It's all about what kind of lifestyle you have. It's all about what kind of precautions that you take. So we can counter those selfish or dubious interpretation of a situation. That is comparatively we would like to run in this way. No, thank you. And thirdly, I love this. What we have heard from Deputy Prime Minister is, don't move around. Please stay at home. It's easier for us to find one by one. Please wait until vaccination is created. So let's wait. We can't do anything about it. So don't move around. We believe that this is a human experiment. It is not fair for the state to sacrifice individuals for the sake of their own political expediency and convenience. We believe, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make an explicit comparison. Their approach or their benefit is skeptical, or speculative, and ambiguous. Maybe we can create a vaccination at some point in the future, but the possibility is clearly ambiguous, versus tangible protection of those who are directly affected by disease, because those people are living in the vicinity of a pandemic zone. We are happy to prioritize tangible protection of rights of those who are directly going to be affected by the possibility of disease. Go ahead.
one hand, he said people rational enough to deal with sensational information. But suddenly, in our product, suddenly, people not rational, even if there is no sensational information, people cannot react to it properly. Why people such a dubious things?
Okay, let me answer that question. My second issue is, what are the legitimate conditions for censoring information? The first rebuttal answers his point of information because I know him personally, so no problem of using this gender pronoun. Firstly, what constitutes rationality is extremely subjective. That's their principal criteria. So rationality should be the reason to selectively disclose information. But what is a rational calculation, ladies and gentlemen? We concede the government, they concede that even government has lacks the ability to trace epidemic perfectly. In that circumstance, rational division differs from context to context and individual to individual. For example, it's up to where you live or what kind of occupation you engage with. If you're working in medical institutions, if you're working in a pharmaceutical corporation, there are different kind of risks there. What kind of traveling history you have, what kind of food habit you have. It's all up to individual context and individual scenario. We can't, or state is uniquely unqualified position of making predetermination about what kind of reaction will be rational, what kind of reaction will be objectively acceptable. Therefore, we believe selective closure is in general illegitimate. Secondly, their analysis about overreaction was about 911, the people overreacted about the terrorism. We believe that's the symbol of selective closure of information. The 911 case showed that as government selectively disclosed information and guided their citizens in favor of state interests. What we would like to emphasize is we need to be careful about the monopoly of information by the state for the political expediency. That is why we need to be extra careful about disproportionate intervention and censoring information. We believe the value of information is up to citizens. Because of the multiplicity and the plethora of context, it is very dangerous. The state dictate and hijack the ways in which people utilize this information. We are happy to oppose. Thank you.